Before we start, there is also a poll. Please let us know where you're from. The program will be as follows. First, our Dean Graduate School, Jan Franso, will tell you everything you need to know about Eindhoven University of Technology and our graduate school, which will start as of September 2015. In his presentation, Jan Franso will also inform you on career opportunities, and he will explain the admission and enrollment procedures. Second, there are two master students from respectively Russia and Mexico who will share their experiences with you. They will try to give you an idea how student life is in Eindhoven and what kind of challenges you will face as an international student. That's pretty much all from my side. I will be available on the chat in case you have questions or technical problems. I now hand over the connection to Jan Franso and hope you will enjoy the webinar.
Eindhoven is situated in the Netherlands, actually a bit south of Amsterdam, and close to Belgium and Germany, actually right in the heart of Europe. Eindhoven is a city of about 250,000 people, small city, but housing a great university. Actually, last week the new university rankings came out here in the Netherlands. And again, we were ranked the best engineering school in the Netherlands, and we are very proud of that. And our master programs actually play a very big role there. Our university is located in the Brainport region, which is an area of high-tech companies. There are many high-tech companies here in the area, and our university very closely connects to those areas, to the companies in that area. Both in terms of research, but also as part of your education, you will often be linked to the companies in the area. And the area by itself has a strong heritage in technology, as for instance a company like Philips started more than 100 years ago here. We are right in the heart of Europe, and the companies around us actually help us excel as a university. And the university was established here almost 60 years ago, actually at the request of those companies. Being in the heart of Europe, I'm sure some of the students will also share with you the ease of traveling around Europe, from Eindhoven Airport, traveling around on many of the low-cost airlines to many of the other destinations within Europe. Eindhoven is actually also a very nice city to live. Forbes, the American magazine, has ranked us as one of the most innovative places in the world, and just actually a couple of months ago we were ranked in the top 20 in the world of best cities to live as a foreigner. Eindhoven is a very welcoming city, very innovative, and as you see here, with innovative buildings right in the heart of downtown. As part of our university network and our collaboration with industry, we offer a very high quality range of programs across all engineering and science disciplines. We do this from a single campus right in the heart of the city with very modern student facilities. Lots of the buildings were constructed or reconstructed actually in the past 5 years. So you will actually experience very nice student facilities over here on a very international campus with at this moment over 100 nationalities, over 80 nationalities growing into 100. There's an open culture here which is very characteristic of the Dutch, and in particular the southern Dutch Netherlands, which are friendly and which we welcome you on campus. And with our facilities in sports, our student associations, and the common facilities we have available, we really will give you a warm feeling of community here on campus. All our graduate programs have been grouped under the graduate school. So the graduate school takes care of the master programs, the PDeng programs, the professional doctorate programs, and the research programs as part of the PhD. The 3 levels, master, PhD research degree and the PDeng is a professional degree, offer you a wide range of education in which we train you to be highly self-aware, design-oriented engineers. We offer 33 master programs on campus, and I think today for the webinar, actually most of you are interested in the master's degree programs, so that's where I will have my initial focus. Over here you see the programs. Actually, depending on the size of your screen, they may look bigger or smaller. But I really invite you to further explore all of the options we have available, both in traditional engineering disciplines such as mechanical, electrical and industrial engineering, but also in the sciences like applied physics and industrial mathematics. We offer degrees that have a very high monodisciplinary profile. In addition, there are many programs on campus which are interdisciplinary. Think along of the embedded systems program, programs like sustainable energy, and actually a brand new program in data science that we will start on September 1st. After the master program, many of our students obviously join the local industry around here or other industries elsewhere in the world. But a significant and relevant portion also continues with further education. The most common degree to obtain after the master here at Eindhoven is the PhD degree, if you're interested in research. And we also have a professional doctorate degree in engineering here for those that have a particular interest in further developing their design skills. There are in the master programs really 4 characteristics that you'll find all across these programs, and that really sets us apart from most of the other programs that you'll find in Europe. One is a lot of room for differentiation and individual choice. There are highly individualized study paths possible, where all of the master programs have a relatively small core, and actually very lots of individual choice possible that you decide on together with the mentor that you get within your department, and who in many cases also is the advisor on your thesis. Thirdly, we pay a lot of attention to developing your professional and academic skills. We have many facilities available that you can use as a student to actually develop your skills, thinking in terms of traditional skills like writing, presenting, but also further skills like negotiation and other skills that make you successful later on in industry. And finally, for the students who out of all of these possibilities think it's still not enough and who look for further excellence, we offer a range of honors programs where in addition to your regular master program, you can take additional courses or do additional projects. For the 5th year in a row, we were named the best university of technology in the Netherlands for the master programs. And 5 of our programs got the excellence mark, which is really exceptional in the Netherlands. So we're really proud of this, and we're really proud of our students and teachers that all make this program together. Skip this one. In the program, you as a student are central, get a central position, and you get the opportunity to specialize. And next to that, next to the specialization in terms of content, also make sure to develop your professional profile. So do you want to be a researcher? Do you want to be an engineer in a high-tech company? Do you want to start your own company as an entrepreneur? These are different professional profiles that you can choose. For those students that want to do a bit extra, they will get the opportunity to take part in the honors program in the graduate school. These are 20 credits additional on top of your regular program. This is a university-wide program where you can choose, self-initiate a tailor-made program to do something extra and really be part of a community of the top 10% of graduate students here in the university. In terms of your later career, I already mentioned the opportunity for the professional doctorate and PhD programs, to which between 5 and 10% of our students continue. The far majority actually look for a job and find a job in the region here, in the Brainport region, at one of the many high-tech companies. We have a huge shortage of engineers, and starting salaries are very competitive. An increasing number of our students also start their own company, and the university has many facilities in place to help you launch your own company. Unlike the situation in the US or in the UK, on the European continent, the PhD program is typically a traineeship with a salary. So you are employed in the university for 4 years after your master degree and being trained to become an independent researcher. And if you have an interest to orientate yourself there, you see the URL here on this website, on this slide. The PDH programs, they are quite specific here in the Netherlands with providing you an additional education. We do this together with the other technical universities in the Netherlands for a small selection of master students to further continue a traineeship here in the university and work for a full year together with the company on developing new products or services. If you're interested in entering our master programs, it's important you go through the application and admission procedure. Of course, you need to have completed a relevant bachelor's degree. We require you to be in the top quartile of your class in terms of grade. We require you to master the English language sufficiently. It's really important, of course, because all of our programs are taught in English. And the deadline for application is May 1st. So actually just a month from now, our applications close for the next academic year. After admission, we really take care of you, and actually our students really reward us for this. Of course, the first step for many of you that are in the admission process, and I already saw in the chat that many of you have joined the Facebook group of international students at TUE, where you can obtain lots of information from fellow students and fellow applicants. But we help you to get the visa and the residence permit, to organize insurance, to arrange housing, get a bank account over here. And in August, we organize an extensive introduction program for all of the international students here at TUE. If you would like to know more information, please go to our Explorer website, tue.nl/explore, and based on that, find all of potential information. And if after today in the chat some of your questions do not get answered, please follow up by sending a mail to our international office, where you find the address here. It's now my pleasure to give the floor to Adelia Kairulina, who is a PhD student currently at the built environment, but also studied further here.
Thank you, Jan. Hello, everybody. My name is Adela. I'm a PhD student at Eindhoven University of Technology, at Department of the Built Environment, and I'm in the Netherlands since 2010. And today I will tell you why did I choose a Technical University of Eindhoven and what is my experience so far. So back to 2009, I just finished my engineering degree in civil and industrial engineering, and I had some working experience in Design Institute in Russia, and I was busy in field of residential housing. And I was a bit bored of typical projects that I was busy with, just blocks of houses, and not that much attention was paid to use of energy, to sustainable energy resources or some alternative energy resources. Of course, you can think Russia, it is rich of oil and gas, but I was always worried about what will happen if we run out of gas, run out of oil. And of course, I knew that in Europe, this subject is very hot, a lot of development and innovations in this area. So that's why I moved from the country rich of fossil fuels, and I found interesting master programs here in Europe. I was aimed to gain knowledge in sustainable buildings, using alternative energy sources to gain also healthy environment indoor. How did I find interesting programs? I use different tools. One tool is a website of European Commission education field. I also used a very nice website study portals, and with help of these two websites I found very interesting programs here in the Netherlands. Which universities I found here in the Netherlands? There are three, which were busy in sustainable energy and built environments, 3 universities in Delft, Eindhoven and University of Twente, and finally I chose University of Eindhoven. Why? First of all, the program was very interesting, the courses offered really made my decision. Second, it was very clear that university has a lot of contacts with companies. Third, it was very easy and very friendly communication via email. I really felt that I was very welcome here to Eindhoven, and I also did get replies very fast from admission office, and I also got really fast decision on my admission from University of Eindhoven. On my way to the Netherlands, I also got a lot of support from Technical University of Eindhoven. First of all, they helped me to arrange housing. I got a really nice room in residential area, very quiet and nice. Second, they helped me to find a bike. This is the best means of transportation here in Eindhoven. You get bicycle lanes, it's very healthy, it doesn't cost you money, so I enjoyed it very much. I still have this bike, which I found with help of university. And third, which is very important, I got a lot of assistance in getting all of my documents for visa application and residence permit. Thanks International Office for that. Also, when I just came to the Netherlands, I didn't know here anyone, but all of international students, they have a possibility to join so-called introduction weeks, intro weeks, where you got a lot of social activities. You're going to meet your classmates, future classmates, to join sport activities, some parties, and visiting some cities, towns in the Netherlands. You will also be given an assignment related to your research or studies, which you're going to do. So I really enjoyed these 2 or 3 weeks in the summer, in August. Then we also got some workshops telling us about Dutch culture, Dutch traditions, Dutch way of living, which also helped us to understand Dutch people and Dutch way of thinking. We also got some English courses to fulfill the expectations of our study program. Some people really needed that. And we also got some psychological assistance for people who were homesick or something. They could just walk to international office and talk to some professional psychologist. That was really great. Some words about city of Eindhoven. It's not just a city and not just a Brainport, but it's also a city of different cultural activities. You will never be bored here. throughout the year there are different events organized. First of all, I would like to mention Dutch Design Week. It is an annual event which shows people some achievements in Dutch design, and people not only from the Netherlands but also from abroad coming here. So the whole week the city is bustling, a lot of different activities organized, workshop, exhibitions, some even design parties. Another event is Dutch Technology Week. It's related to Dutch Design Week, but this field is more technological and science oriented. And another really great event is GLOW. It usually happens in November. It is Festival of Light. And Eindhoven, maybe you know, it's a city of light. You will see a lot of light artwork and where some artists and designers create their exhibitions, and you can just walk outside and look at them in the evening. You can just Google about these events and you will find definitely very nice pictures. Some facts about living in Eindhoven. I can tell you will need roughly 800 to 1000 euros per month to sustain your life here. Room rent is about 300 to 400 euros per month. Student health insurance will be about 40 euros per month. And there is a student sports center just here in the campus, and a card for annual card costs just 84 euros, and you get access to many activities organized in this sports center, and just some prices of products I mentioned on this slide maybe can be interesting for you to see. Now I can tell that TUI is the right choice. Why? First of all, because of the study here, I got a lot of new knowledge in sustainable buildings and a healthy environment in the buildings. I also got a possibility to join Dutch and English courses, and now I can also speak Dutch. I also learned to work not only alone on projects but also within a team, and I was also learned to give a lot of presentations. I also got access to personal development courses, and here in Eindhoven, you will get access to annual job fairs just organized here in the campus, where you can definitely find nice job opportunities after you finish your master or bachelor track or PhD. Also, note that very important point in social life, as Jan Frans already mentioned, there is a common room where you can organize some social activities. You can cook together with your classmates, with your friends. You can organize some cultural events related to your culture. You are free. Then you also get you are getting part of a student associations. Every track has its own student associations and alumni network. And as I already mentioned, there is the Eindhoven Sports Center, where you also can get your life balance, let's say, between study and some social and health activities. And what is very important to you is not just standing at this point, but it's developing further. Being here for 5 years, I mentioned a lot of changes happened here in the campus. TUI really strongly focused on energy, health and smart mobility. It's renewing the campus and facilities every year, and it's expanding housing for students nowadays. So about my future, I got different ways to go after finishing my PhD. First of all, I can go to research areas to stay in this area, or go to industry and work in a company. I have some time to think about this. And just for you, an advice, if you want to work in a friendly and very flexible environment, if you want to study in this environment, if you want to get access to modern research facilities and collaborate with industry, and if your topics of interest include energy, health and smart mobility, you are very welcome here to Eindhoven. Thanks for your attention, and now I will give a word to Amado.
Hello everyone. Sorry, my name is Amado Garza. I'm from Mexico. I graduated from Embedded Systems in January, and I held the ALSP scholarship during my experience at the TUI. I will tell you a bit of not so much maybe technical information, just my own experience, something that I think will be useful if you get to come here once you are living in Eindhoven. Well, first of all, I'm going to explain you why I chose the TUE. And it's a combination of the four factors that you see on the slide. Something that I find really important, at least for embedded systems. Embedded systems is a 3TU program. There are some other programs at the TUE that are also 3TU programs. That means that you can take classes in Eindhoven, Delft, or Twente, even though you are only, well, even though you're a student in Eindhoven. So for me, that was actually quite useful, because then I could see the classes that I would like to take that could be at Delft, could be at Twente. I did not really have to choose between the three of them. At the end, I did take some classes from Twente because they suit me well, and I really, really wanted to take them. And that was it. Also very relevant for me was the location. I didn't want to be in a very small village up in the north of Sweden, or I don't know, Finland or something. I want to be in the heart of Europe, and Eindhoven is there. Here in the city, there's also one airport that has a lot of low-fare airlines to travel around Europe, Ryanair, Wizz Air, so on and so forth. So it's very easy to do these small trips when you have some time off during the summer, and so on and so forth. So, well, at the end, it was all the combination of all these factors, of course, the reputation, the industry, and so on and so forth. But they all play a role together. Now, getting here, well, some important points. I think all the information is available from the international office, but you should consider the following points important, at least on my experience. Don't miss the intro week. It's really a good opportunity to set everything straight once you arrive. Legally, your bank, register at the city hall, all kind of tests, everything you have to do, it's arranged for you, so it's very, very useful. If you don't attend, then it becomes way more cumbersome to deal with it. So it's really important. When I arrived to Eindhoven, I was really sick. I had an allergy. So I had to go to the doctor rather quickly. So I would recommend you that even if you are not sick, once you arrive, go and register with the general practitioners in the city. They're all over the place. You usually go and register for one. Do that quite early. That way, once you get sick or something, you can go straight ahead, and it's less of a problem. For housing, I think that was also one of the things that I was wondering about when I was coming here. The international office can help you, and that's great. There are also some other options out there. Carmernet is, you have the websites over there. You can click the links later on once you get the presentation to check them out. But this provided an opportunity to do like one-on-one deals, or deal with agencies. The other website, Pararis, is for agencies. Or with the student organizations like the STID or One Bedrijf. Those organizations are a bit different. They have a different system to assign rooms that are available, but they're all definitely worth checking out. What I mean is that you have plenty of opportunities to find something. Even once you get here, you want to change, you want to do something, it's easy to find housing. Relatively easy. Well, about the daily life at the TUE, about classes. Take notes, that's a must. I think everybody knows that. But very important, do the optional exercises. There's always a factor of, I think the optional exercises are only really for in the mind of the professor is the only optional part, but they really come in handy for the exams. It's really about working hard. I was used in Mexico, and also in my previous education, to have the semester, like all the semester to do my classes and so on and so forth. And here's mainly quartile system. Most of the classes, not all, are quartile oriented. So it took me a while to get used to it at the beginning, because it's really sneaky. It's 8 weeks, 9 weeks. It's fast. It's 2 months. So I think a lot of the international students struggle with that if they're not used to it, because it's really a short time to get your head around the concepts. So really pay attention to that. For a lot of the classes, there are pre-recorded lectures from previous years, so you can use that if you skip a class, if you cannot go, whatever. It's really helpful, so check that out. A lot of people at the beginning don't know they have the option to do that. Just have to make sure it's up to date, but it's quite a helpful thing. Check the canteen serving hours. The Dutch eating times are very specific, let's say, and sometimes I got off guard thinking, oh, I can eat at 6, 7, and it was already, the cafeteria was closed, and I was working in a building, and there was not many options. So just check out. I think that is changing now. More the cafeterias are open longer. The food is great. Like the food is okay. It's warm food and all, but just make sure you consider the timing once you're here, and adapt to it. One important suggestion, and I cannot emphasize this enough: join a sports or student association. It's the best way to meet people. It's the best way to integrate with Dutch students. For me, it's been a great experience. At the sports center, there's more than 30 associations, ranging from football to ball fitness to volleyball, basketball, judo. It's there's a bit of everything. Also, the place is great. You can see the picture that I have on the slide of the soccer field. That's a new soccer field they built last summer. It's an artificial field, AstroTurf, top notch, great. If it rains, no problem, you can keep on playing. So it's really important that you check it out to have a balanced life over here. And I think the sports center is one of the best there is for students in the Netherlands. Well, small details. Once you get here, what's the most important thing to do once you get here? Well, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Pretty much everyone in the Netherlands, well, not everyone, but a lot of people, at least the students, move either by bike or by public transport. If you get here and you get a very decent bike, make sure you also get a very decent lock to keep it safe, so on and so forth. The city is safe, the country is safe. That's not a problem. But it's best, like some people invest on a very good bike, but in a very lousy lock, and then it's very easy to get it lost. Marktplaats, it's let's say the equivalent of the Dutch eBay, so it's very easy to find bikes, new, used, and in general products on it. Check it out. To use the public transport, get the OB chip card once you get here. It's a single card that you can use for all the transportation in the Netherlands, either on the bus, the train, the tram. You go from here to Amsterdam, and then you're gonna take the bus there. It's the same card, so it's very useful. It simplifies the process. You don't have to keep on buying tickets, and also you can put products on it, like special discounts for certain times if you're traveling often, so on and so forth. And it's really useful. To check the itineraries of trains and buses and so on, you can check those 3 websites that I have there. NS is the railroad company, the national railroad company. They also have an app, so you can also do it on your phone. But yeah, it's very easy to find out how to transport around. Like the public transport in the Netherlands is very good. Some useful websites. Boeing Radar, yeah. Sometimes it can be rainy. The Dutch weather is not that bad, but it can be rainy. So it's very useful. This website it's also an app. It's very useful to keep track when it's gonna rain. Like in the next 2 hours, it's gonna rain in half an hour, 45 minutes, in an hour, so on and so forth. So if you're in a place and you're about to leave, but you see it's raining, you check the app. Oh wait, if I wait half an hour, then it's gonna clear. Then you go out. OpenThought is very useful to find open pharmacies, supermarkets, general convenience stores around your house, because yeah, you don't know, you just got here, you don't know which ones close early, which ones close late, if they're open on Sunday, because some of them do, some of them don't, and that website is helpful for that. Finally, I would recommend you check Bol. Bol is like the Dutch Amazon. There is no Amazon.nl, but there is Amazon for Germany. But you cannot get all the products from Germany here, depends on the product. So Bol is like the Dutch version of Amazon. It's really useful. What else? Well, on meeting people and going out. For me, joining the football club, I play football here, has been really useful. I also joined the board. So the picture that you see there at the center is me with my board mates. We were in charge of the activities and so on and so forth. We did trips. Yeah, there are festivals. You can go skiing. You can go to football matches. There's a bunch of stuff to do. But you have to put yourself out there. You cannot just keep yourself in the small international student community. You have to, go out and meet people. And it's really great experience. Met a lot of great people. Here are some recommendations where to go out in Eindhoven once you get here. Stratum sign is the going out place, like bars of all kinds. You can go on salsa there. You can go deep music, rock, whatever. There is all bars and pubs around that area. For concerts and events, you have the Effener and the Klokgebouw. There are some other areas around the city that have a slightly more relaxed atmosphere. A very important area, I believe, is Stripe S. It has an industrial area that has been renovated. And right now you can find all kind of hipster events there. Like the Dutch Design Week mainly takes place there. And you have all these extra activities you can do on the weekends and so on and so forth. And these 4 places should cover all your needs, I think. They're great. What else? Well, that's all from my side. Thank you for your attention. We will now answer the questions on the chat. If you have any particular question for me, Adelia or Jean-Francois, you can just, say, hey, Amado, I have a question for you, and we'll answer it personally. If the question is just general for the chat team, then just leave it like that. And thank you. Okay, let's check some of the questions that you have. Okay. From India. Oy.
You can answer this.
Yeah, can the visa that we got from Eindhoven can be used to go to all over Europe? Yeah, no, you can go all the Schengen zone, like, yeah, all the countries in the Schengen zone that you should look at. For example, the UK is not part of it, so for the UK, I think you still need particular permit to enter. But the Schengen zone, it's okay. That does, yeah, that's fine. Other questions? Adele, wanna say anything?
So, question, what was the hardest thing to cope with when I moved to the Netherlands? Actually, I want to tell that the Netherlands is a very well-organized country, so you don't need to worry. It's very clear on the streets, even if you don't know the way or something, people speak English here, everyone, young to old, so that's a really nice thing. Second, Amado mentioned some useful websites. I think on slides around 37, 38, you will get these presentations. They are websites about weather, how to travel with public transportation, so it's very useful. One thing to know, and which, yeah, I can hear a lot from international students, it's a food style, eating style of Dutch people. It's a lot of bread, sandwiches, so don't be surprised when you arrive here. And weather can be a problem. In winter it's very dark and you can be depressed, but I think it's just a matter of meeting with your friends and talking to your family, and everything will be fine. So actually there are no difficulties here in the Netherlands, so everything will be fine. So let's look in the other questions.
Part-time jobs?
Oh. Last one? Ah. Yes.
Okay. Well, part-time jobs, like when you're a student, to be fair, can be quite tough to get a part-time job, mainly because of the workload, and also I don't know if that changed, but the residence permit has a limitation on the hours you can work. I think it's 10 hours or so per week. So, well, that can get you a part-time job, but it will not be it will not be a lot. It's different though if you do an internship with a company as part of your studies. For example, I did my thesis as an internship at Philips. So my thesis, my last 6 months of my master's, were as an intern there. So you get paid for that. Depends on the company. Sometimes they pay more, sometimes they pay less. But then it's a different thing. And some other programs, I think, have an internship integrated as part of the program, regardless of if the master thesis or not, just it's there. So then you might look into that then. But even though it is possible to get a part-time job, I will not, be completely sure that once I get there, we'll get a part-time job. It's kind of tough, the load is difficult, and there are not so many hours you can work. Once you do an internship, that's a different thing. You're just allowed to do an internship normally, but because it's related to your studies.
So let's look for another question. Yeah. Will university help international students about local language? Yes. As a master student, you are allowed to take courses in Dutch languages, and there are, if I'm not wrong, like 4 of them, starting from beginners to advanced plus. And being a master student, during 2 years of my study, I also took these courses, and now I have a Dutch language certificate. So it's very, very useful to take these courses, yeah. university provides this opportunity.
I'm just gonna also answer that. I also took the beginners class, and I did not follow later on because I did not have the time, or I did not want to overload me. But it was really helpful. Then with my friends, like just hanging out with them, I was able to develop further. So I can understand quite some Dutch. I cannot reply, like I can speak it back, but yeah, you can take some language courses at the university. Though they usually, if you are coming here the first semester, try to sign up rather quickly because they get full fast. So I remember I went to the first semester, but I did not pay really attention, and then the class was full. And then for the second semester, then I knew, and then I took my time, and then I signed on for it. But yeah, it is possible. Other questions? Let's see.
There was one question about football player.
Where?
There are a lot of questions, so please be patient.
Okay, for this one. Well, part-time job, no, it changed again to part-time job. Let me go to it. Yeah, well, for football, in general for sports, I'm just gonna try to do it general for sports rather just for football. A lot of the sports have an association attached to it. So you can either decide to join the association and let's say just train. And you, for example, we train every Tuesday and Thursday. Or you can decide also to be part of a competition and then we play every Sunday. You can also decide just to be like not to be part of the association and just go to open trainings and just like anyone can show up, blah blah blah, and then that's on Wednesday. For indoor, for futsal, there are some like open tournament that I think is played every Wednesday around lunchtime or the evening or at 6, and you can just make a team with your friends and you can join. So it really depends what you're looking for. And I think most of the associations have this sort of strategy. Like for example, I know for tennis, you can join just as a member, so you can contact people to go and practice tennis anytime you want, or you can join a team to sort of have competitions and so on and so forth. So it depends what you're looking for. If you want to compete, play often, or if you just want to play every once in a while. But yeah, you decide yourself. You can check the website of the sports center and all the sports associations are there. I also have to mention that there are also a lot of classes that don't have a student association attached to it. They're just classes like, I don't know, Zumba, cardio core, CrossFit, stuff like that. So yeah, there's no association, but you can go and take the classes every week. That's also great. Let's see, what else do we have here? I hope that answers the question. Okay, I think this one is, well, this one is good. Could you elaborate more about the quartile system, please? How many courses are held within those 8 weeks? When are the final examinations after the 8 weeks? Well, in general, you're supposed to take 15 ECTS per quartile, so that's 15 credits. Most of the classes are 5 ECTS, so that will be 3 per quartile, at least on my experience, though. If I'm wrong, anyone from the international office can pitch in. But yeah, some other classes are 3 ECTS, 2 ECTS, 5. I think very few are 6 or 7. I think now all of them are 5 now.
Yeah, so actually as of September next, all of the classes will be 5 credits. So that means you take 3 classes in a quartile. And at the end of the quartile there will be the exam. Having said that, there are a lot of courses that are also project-based, right? So that means that already during the course you are actually working on a project or whatever.
I also had some classes that were oral examinations. So yeah, you do like a project and then you pretty much at the end sort of defend why you chose to do the things the way you did it. So yeah, it's usually 3 classes. Yeah, if you do the 5 ECTS. And yeah, it's usually 8 weeks and then 2 weeks for exams, if I remember correctly. That then, depending on your classes when they are scheduled. And yeah, the ones that is project based, when you don't have a final exam, so it depends on the class. But it's more or less like that. The main issue I had with the quartile system is that usually when it's a long semester, you have time to get your head around the concept and say, okay, I'm going to stop this a bit and then go back to it. In a quartile system, no. If you fall behind 1 week, you're going to feel the difference, because the content it's way more, for a class, the content is where it's more together, so you will have to follow it closer. That's it.
So next question. I didn't find too many construction companies associated with the Eindhoven University of Technology, so is it difficult to find a job after my master's in a related field? So what I can tell, maybe on the website you cannot find really a lot of information about construction companies, but as I mentioned, there are annual job fairs. First, it's university broad, let's say. Different departments organized some job fairs. So for the whole of the university, for electrical engineering, mechanical engineering and construction field. And also there is an annual job fair just at the Department of the Built Environment, where all the companies are coming together and they are offering opportunities for internship or for job. The only requirement sometimes, like for 70%, they require Dutch language as a, if you can speak Dutch or not. So that will be wise to take Dutch courses during your master degree. But there are definitely a lot of opportunities to find a job here, because also each master track within our department has its own student association, and they also organize lunch lectures, some meetings, meet and greet, for example, where also some representatives of companies are coming, and you can just have a chat with them in informal sphere. So just talk with them and see what they can offer for you. So that should not be a problem. Yeah, thanks for this question. So let's look for another one. How easy it is to get into PDN after masters from TUE? As from my experience at Department of Built Environment, like we have 10 to 12 PDNs every year, and at least 2 of them are coming from a master track. So of course you will be going through different conversations and test rounds, yeah, just based on your marks, based on your experience, there is a chance that you will be chosen.
Yeah, I think it, of course, strongly depends on your capabilities and your ranking in the program. But to give you an idea, we annually graduate at this moment about 1,200 students from the master programs, and we admit about 120 students into the PDN. So it's about a ratio of 1 in 10.
Okay. Another question. Okay, let's see. Shall I just pick? Yeah, I think some of them, the international office can answer better.
Maybe a few comments on the scholarship, because there's so many questions there.
Right? In the chat.
Yeah, so in the text I saw many questions on the scholarships. Let's say for this year the scholarship deadline is passed. So if you want to start in September next, actually the scholarship deadline was February 1st. So anybody applying now until the May 1st deadline is no longer eligible for a scholarship. Second, there were questions about the number of scholarships being awarded. This ranges a bit, it changes a bit from year to year, but you have to think that annually we award between 50 and 60 scholarships, and they are mainly addressed to the non-European students, since they pay an increased tuition fee. And that means out of the non-European students, This next year, I expect that about 1 in 8 will actually be able to obtain a scholarship.
Yeah, maybe from my personal experience, because I had it. I well, well, what it covers, and I think it's important people to know. But I think it's mentioned on the TU website. Covers the tuition, so the tuition is waived on a way, and you get 5,000 euros per year. So that, on my experience, cover around half of my monthly expenses. Like if you divide that per month, you get like 460, around 430 or something. And like Adelia mentioned, it's around 800 per month to live, 900. I will agree with that as well. So yeah, it covered more or less half of my living expenses, more or less.
So let's pick up another question. Okay, it was already made for me. So I'm a construction engineer and I used to work for architectural programs, AutoCAD, ArchiCAD, design sustainable buildings, with a master of BPS, or maybe oh, definitely. If you want to do what you like, then as I mentioned, TUI has a very flexible work environment. You can definitely choose what you like most. At the beginning, you will be offered different courses, for example, building performance simulation, where with help of programs you can predict energy performance and some performance indicators of a building, like indoor temperature, or I don't know, all the factors. You can change the design with these programs. Whether you go to urban physics field with also computational fluid dynamics, you predict the flows around the building, and there is also building services direction, where you can work on optimization of building installation system for your building. So there's a variety of choices, whether you are more architecture related or whether you are more engineering related. And this information you can also find on TU website, or just you can send the message to me. My email was mentioned at the beginning of my presentation. I can provide you with some useful links. And there was also a question about student forums. I can also send you some information about the student associations, but I just cannot find this question right now. So don't hesitate to contact us. We will help you as much as possible. Yeah. So yeah. This question I also wanted to answer. Getting into contact with one of those student forums now. Yes, definitely it's possible. Each student association has its own secretary, so you just need to know the email address or link or something. So just send the email message to me and I will help you with that. So, you have interesting questions?
Maybe in the chat?
Text chat?
Yeah, I think because not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in this one, well, I don't know.
Pretty.
Well, yeah. Okay, this one. No, it went another one. For the 3TU programs, do we get to go to different universities during the study? You can. The point is that you are allowed. Like for me, I don't know if it's still the same. I guess it is because it was 2 years ago. Once I arrived here and I was subscribed to the TUE, I also got my sort of, let's say, login details and inscription details from both Delft and Twente. So then I was allowed to go there and go into the online system, subscribe for a class over there, and just join any class that I wanted. Like that wasn't part of my program, of course. So as far as I know, you are not forced to, but you very well can. And I know some people, I mean, I did it with Twente, and I went for a class there, so I only had to go Fridays there. But I know people who have done a couple of classes in Delft, just, yeah, and they were allowed to, so it is possible that you, yeah, take the classes, but it's not like you have to go or you have to. There is a, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. How is Eindhoven different from Twente and Delft? Okay, I'm just gonna assume first city-wise. City-wise, Eindhoven is bigger than the other two, in population at least, as far as I know. Eindhoven is newer building-wise, so I think Delft has a bit more historical buildings and old houses and stuff like that. Maybe Eindhoven not so much. Yeah. Well, Twente is actually Enschede, right? Yeah. So, well, Twente is just a university. Well, yeah, okay. Doesn't matter details. Enschede, yeah. I think just Eindhoven is the bigger city of the three of them. Newest Delft maybe has a bit more history. Enschede, I don't know it that well. I've just been there a couple of times. About the universities, what I've heard in general, like in how the programs are, I think per program it might be a bit different if one is slightly better than the other, but I think they're quite balanced overall. And well, this year the TUE, as in the last 5, won the award. Whoop, whoop. But yeah, I think that more or less covers it. If there's more specific thing you want to know about them, I'll ask it.
So time for a very easy question to both of us. Let's compare. So, how is the weather in Eindhoven throughout the year? So you can imagine, I'm from Russia.
No,
He's
from
from
Mexico,
Mexico.
yeah.
Yeah, for me the weather is very stable, very moderate, very nice. Just as I mentioned, in winter it can be a bit too cloudy, too rainy, so you can get kind of depressed. But average temperature per year is just like 10 degrees. Grass is green always, so it's moderate climate, very nice.
Moderate. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be cold, can be rainy, and it can be windy. Like the summer is great. I think I love the summer here. Like I really like the summer here because it's not so hot. It's not so humid. It is very, very nice, but it's just short, relatively short compared to the summer in Mexico at least. It's not so bad though. I think a lot of people, I mean, for me it was not so bad. Yeah, it's kind of raining. It's yeah, it can be cold in the winter, but yeah, it's not as hard as in other places, definitely. So I think it's very, very livable overall. But yeah, you do get the 4 seasons, and that's sometimes you don't get it in like tropical countries. You only have like this rainy season and not rainy season, but here you actually have the 4 seasons very well defined.
Winter, not really winter. No. It's just, you cannot call it winter. So don't worry, weather is good.
Today is sunny.
Yeah, it's especially spring is nice. So I have seen a question about assistants, teaching assistant. I cannot find it now. Just a moment. Yes. So, any concept of research assistant, teaching assistant in TUE. If you are really interested in that, I can tell you PhD is something for you, because being a PhD, it's meaning not just doing your research, but depending on the department, you can be involved in teaching course, doing some practical laboratory assignments together with students. Second, you are going to supervise master students, and it can be very useful if they do some part of your project. So you can, you have actually freedom to make master project proposals and give them to students. So that's very helpful. So just research assistants, such position does not exist, but you can be partially research assistant if you are PhD, or assistant professor and so on, so growing from this position. And there is another question related to that. how to proceed for a PhD program, how to plan it out. The best is to get in contact with the professor, and how to find a professor via website, via research topics which he involved in. So I advise you just to look through website, to contact maybe some PhD students if you find useful links. But the first requirement, you need to have a master's degree in a related field. Of course, you then send your cover letter to professor or to HR office. So just try it out if you have already your master's degree, but first find an interesting field for you. So, do you have any question?
Well, there was
Yeah.
one. This one from Colombia. As a Latin, what can you recommend us to get used to the Dutch and European lifestyle? Well, I think at first, yeah, you have, I don't know, it depends how you are, but being more organized, being sure you're on time, being sure you know you comply when things have to be done, you have to do it, sort of follow the rules. We have a tendency to go outside of it a little bit, and yeah, and here it's like, no, well, it's the way it is, and you follow them in general. Besides that, well, here in the Netherlands, I think people is quite open, quite friendly, but also quite honest and direct. And sometimes some people take offense on that, or just think, oh, how he told me or she told me that. But the people here are just honest. So besides that, I think it's very, very easy to get adapted to. It's a very nice lifestyle. If you like exercising, you know, cycling and stuff like that, I think it's not a very big gap, but you have just to consider the small cultural differences. And I think during the intro, you get information on that.
So next question, people are interested about job opportunities. Are companies open to hiring international students? Is knowing Dutch mandatory? It's very field related. First, I can tell that in field of built environment, Dutch proficiency is mostly needed by construction companies, because you need to learn the regulations in construction field. But as far as I know, in chemistry and biomedical engineering and electrical engineering,
For example,
yeah.
in embedded systems, it's mainly English. Yeah, no, not much. I mean, it's a bonus if you speak some Dutch or you can understand, but most of the times it's not a requirement.
Is it possible for students to be involved in projects held by research advisors in our department? Yes, it is. There are already established collaborations between departments. For example, I'm doing my PhD together with Department of Applied Physics, who have more knowledge about fluid dynamics, and built environment have more knowledge to apply this into built environment. So as far as I know, there are strong collaborations between different departments. And again, it's up to you. You have freedom. You can establish also these connections. Just you can get people interested in your project if you have your own ideas. So it is possible. It's not forbidden for sure.
Oh, I think this one is useful. What are the usual class timings at the university? Is it 5 days? Is it 5 days a week? Well, it depends how you make your schedule, but I don't know if that changes now with the new system, but I always had 1 day a week that I was free when I was studying. Like, it also depends how you arrange it, but there was at least half a day, one afternoon. Like, days are usually split between the morning block, then the lunch hour, and the afternoon block. And in the morning there are 4 hours, each one of them 45 minutes. So you take 45 minutes a class, then 15-minute break. So a class might be 2 hours or 4 hours, and it might be once a week or twice a week. So if you're taking 3 classes, and let's say all of them are 4 hours twice, then you get like 4 days full, more or less. But it depends a bit how you make your schedule. But I usually had 1 day free, or 1 day, half a day here, half a day, and the other day free. So, but usually it's by blocks. Let's see. Let's see.
with one interesting question to both of us. Is the master's course very hectic? So, from my experience, as I already told, I came from a country where not that much attention is paid to sustainable buildings, sustainable solutions. So for me at the beginning it was very difficult to learn a lot of information, but luckily all of supervisors, all professors and their PhD students, they were really helpful. They supplied us with a lot of literature, so we were really busy with learning a lot of information at once. So it can be difficult for you if your bachelor program, for example, was a bit too different from master's, but everything is achievable, so just depends on you.
Well, for me, I think it's because when I arrived I was a bit sick, so my first quartile was a bit rough. So I had then to compensate for that later on. And I think after 6 months, like the exam period of the second quartile was around January. That was quite hectic because I was compensated for the stuff that I did not have the chance to do. I was trying to get back in line and all. But besides that, I think it's pretty organized. Yeah, it depends how you work, how you organize yourself. But I think it's not as hectic as it can be. I still manage to do my activities in the football club, organize events, and be part of the board, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I think it depends how you arrange it yourself. Let me see. Okay, new question. You're on the structure, right?
Startups.
Yes, I saw this question. How difficult is it for foreigners to start up in Eindhoven? Actually, it is very easy. There are lots of startups here in the city, and actually the Dutch government has recently introduced even a so-called startup visa. So for startups, it's actually relatively easy to start here, get a good position. There is an increasing number of venture capitalists also around in the area. Actually focused on two main areas. One is the university and the university campus, where we also have facilities to help you start up. But also in the south of the city, there is a huge industry research campus, where there are also lots of small and large companies working on new innovations. I should say that the focus on startups is very much in the high-tech systems and materials area. So that's an important characteristic of the area, and so most of the startups, they focus on that part of industry.
Okay, we're done.
So, anything to know on the student union at Eindhoven University of Technology? Not really, because as far as you come here, you will you will be automatically subscribed in student association of your master track. You will get to know your people, and so yeah, you will be just automatically the member of this union. So there is also there are a lot of questions about, do students get international job placements? I have a lot of classmates who are now doing their PhD or working in a company in industry. So just depends on your wishes and what you want to do, but there are opportunities for sure.
Yeah, but there are quite some events, I think, during the 2 years that I was here. Fairs, meet and greets and stuff like what Adila mentioned before. So yeah, you get introduced to a lot of companies or the contacts to them, and yeah, out of there then you can apply and be placed somewhere. But the contacts the network is quite built, so you just have to make use of it, I will say.
Yeah, just the same kind of the same question regarding job opportunities for sustainable energy technology. The answer is the same. You will get to know people at the job fairs and.
Okay. Well, there was one, I think, last question, but I cannot find it anymore. About if there were student discounts for the PSV matches. As far as I am aware, nope. But you get you have to get a PSV fan card, or well, at least for the big clubs here, you have to get a fan card so you can buy tickets for their matches, just to prevent, the mixing of people and so on and so forth. But no, but yeah, going to a football match, it's really nice. I really recommend that. And I think that will be all for the covering of the questions. If you have any further questions, you can contact the international office, or you can contact Daily or me. I think you probably can find the details. And the presentation, at least on mine, check the links. I think it's useful if you have questions about weather and so on and so forth. Check those. I think it's useful, and that's all from our side. We go